Hola, mi gente. Joe Barreto back with you at the Credit Card Connection. I'm so glad you can join me. Well, mi gente, what a week it was. In this credit card space, to have one of the heavy hitters like Chase have rumors run amok that they're taking their $550 card up to $795, blowing past the American Express Platinum card at $695. It's going to open everybody's eyes and people are going to start chatting and going online and posting their thoughts and things. But you know how I like to do it here. Yeah, I know about all that news that came out. Yeah, I've seen the blogs. Yeah, I've seen the comments. Yes, I've seen the videos, but I had to get to the bottom of it. So today, I'm going to tell you what I did in the last couple of days when this rumor hit, what I found out directly from Chase, what I'm going to go over what the proposed changes are coming, and what I've done in the meantime. That sounds good to you, mi gente. Do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. Check out the referral links below with my favorite credit cards, extra wallets, including that wonderful extra travel bag that shrinks all your clothes into a little portable bag that you could stick in your overnight bag and take 5 days worth of clothing in a small space. So let's jump into it, mi gente. So I know that this hit last week, but I'm going to be real 100 with you. Back, and I'm going to bring it up to the screen. This was back March 25th. If you notice, I have the club card here, and then I have an $800 American Express card up there. This was for my live. Back about a month and a half ago, I applied for the United Club card and I paid $525 for the card. About a week or so later, Chase announced that it was going to come in at $695. All right. Back then, on that particular live, I said that it was no way Chase was going to leave a co-branded card to be their Halo card coming in at $695. Okay. I said changes were coming. And I called Chase back then to ask them, and all they kept telling me was, well, nothing is set in stone yet. If you open up, your United card, you're still going to be grandfathered into the old price. They were being really coy about it. Okay. Then April 1st, more updates. My next live, they were talking about what happened with Lyft, the benefits that were being added, which then led me to apply now because of the Chase updates coming. And as you see, I crossed out the $95 fee. Now that was for the preferred. And I said back then that it was going to go up to at least 150 and that the reserve would have to come in over 695. Now, I'm not saying I'm Nostradamus, but it just put two and two together. And there was no way Chase was going to let the United Club card again be their premier premium card in their lineup. So now what does this all mean? Now I'm going to ask you to forgive me because I have notes that I took here and I want to make sure that I give you everything right because I also have to tell you about a conversation that I recorded with a Chase representative a couple of nights ago. So here's where we are now with this supposed and alleged Chase refresh. Now, this one I do believe. A lot of people go on Reddit and they're all into Reddit and they're like, if Reddit says it, it's like, the Bible. You also have a lot of people on Reddit that like to just create things and say things without any proof. So my go-tos tend to be the Doctor of Credit, Danny the Deal Guru, Sean's Miles to Memories, people that actually have been in this space for a long time and really do their homework and do the research before they actually go and say something or post something, which is going to bring me to this. And I want to make sure that you guys can see it as I'm going to read it to you. And I also have a copy here because it's kind of small for me. It's still on the screen. But as you can see, the price is supposed to go up from $550 to $795. Okay. It's a $245 jump. Nothing to sneeze at. That's a heck of a jump. Okay. Also, their authorized users on the reserve goes from a manageable $75 to an Amex like $195. You're going to see the theme here in a minute on how they're really going toe to toe with Amex. Now, here's where some people are saying it's sort of a nerf. If you look on the earning column, they're going to give you 8 times chase points on travel and hotels, down from 10. 8 times on flights booked through the portal, down from 10. 4 times, though, on flights booked directly, through the airline or the hotel, which is up a point. 3 times on dining, which stays the same. Now, here it says 1 times on other travel, but I'm going to show you in a minute how these rumors are still out there and we're still not sure about what's going to happen. Then I'm going to tell you what the conversation I had with the representative. Okay. New benefits, $500 in the edit, their new hotel elite line of or collection. 500 broken up into 250, of course, semi-annual credits, a la Amex. You're going to get a $300 dining credit, what they call their, Sapphire Reserve, tables. Again, like Resi, see the theme here, right? Again, broken up 150 semi-annual, still a little bit better than the monthly credits that we get from some of the other cards. A $300 StubHub credit, semi-annual 150, $300 DoorDash credit via $25 a month. If you like DoorDash, that's a solid deal. You're also going to get the $120 DoorDash membership, $250 on this one. I kind of like $250 towards Apple TV and Apple Music. So that's, if you're into that subscription model, this is great because it covers it. And Apple Music kind of went up in price as well. So this is a good benefit that a lot of people are going to use. And here's the second part. And these were actual screenshots right off of the Doctor of Credit and Danny the Deal Guru. Now, as you're going to see, it's showing you the existing benefits. And it's showing here that the $300 travel credit, which many people say was one of the reasons why they like the CSR, because they had the easiest $300 travel credit to use. It wasn't like Capital One, where it is now in Capital One, that in order to get the $300 credit, you have to go through their portal and book the travel through their portal. Chase is use it for travel, you're going to get the credit. Here, as you see, they're still keeping that $300 credit. That's not being nerfed, which is fine. So I know people are going to say, well, they're only going to give you 1 times more on travel on anything else. And again, guys, then they can't give it all to you for even at $7.95. Okay. The other thing is you're still going to get the TSA pre-check and global entry credits as everybody else does with a premium card. And you're going to get, this is where including the lounge access that it gives you for the Sapphire lounges, which I will be using more because Newark is such a disaster. I'll be flying more out of JFK and LaGuardia, where there are safe Chase Sapphire lounges available. And I'll finally be able to utilize them there because Newark, again, is a disaster. But after spending $75,000 on the Reserve card, they're saying you're going to get a $500 Southwest credit, Southwest A-list status. So if you fly Southwest, it's huge. IHG One rewards Diamond Elite status, better than the Platinum status that you get with the United Club card, which I got, and $250 for the shop's credit. And if you look at the bottom of the screen, that screenshot, you see where it says the new Sapphire Reserve card, and it looks like an informative screen that looks like it was sent out to Chase representatives. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up is because this looks like it was an actual screen grab taken from someone working at Chase that got this information about this new product coming out. This is why I go with the guys from, Danny the Deal Guru, Doctor of Credit, and so on, because they did the homework, right? They did the research. So what did I end up doing? So Friday night, I called just to make sure of what was going on with Chase. And I said, listen, I'm considering doing a product change from my Sapphire Preferred to the Reserve. But, I'm concerned about this news that I got where online everybody's saying that the fee is going to go up from 550 to 795. The representative said, "Oh, did you get an email from us already?" And I said, "No, I didn't get an email." And I explained to her how I have a channel that talks about credit and credit cards, and that I had people asking me, and I wanted to make sure what to tell them and what was exact. So she backpedaled for a second. Then she said, "Well, you know, nothing is written in stone yet. If you decide to product change now, you're going to be able to get all the current benefits that are available on the reserve at the $550 price point now." And then she went on and on and on. And then what got me was I circled back and I asked her again. Her name was Cindy. And I said, "Cindy, but what about if I get the card now and then you guys increase it to this proposed 795?" And she said, "Well, Mr. Barreto, in that case, you still be grandfathered under the $550 annual fee now. You would still be able to use the current benefits now and whatever benefits we roll into the new version of the card." Guys, to have her say into the new version of the card, to me, after being told already what I told her about how I was just trying to find information for the channel, it got me really thinking that this is coming true and it's going to come through sooner rather than later. Again, the refreshes for Chase have been hitting and hitting quickly. And that huge sign up bonus on the CSP, which is ending this week, just shows that in the next week or two after, I could see the new rollout to their new version of the Sapphire Reserve. So, what did I do? Okay. As soon as she told me that, I took the Chase Sapphire Preferred and I product changed it to the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Now, why did I do this? Am I a glutton for punishment wanting to pay $795? No. But here's what happened. Because I just paid the $95 fee for this card for the preferred about a month ago or so, Chase told me that they would prorate this fee and give me the difference back into a statement credit for me to product change to the reserve. So instead of 550, I'm actually now at $471. Okay. The other thing is, if I use the Chase Pay Yourself Back, it comes out to 36,666 ultimate rewards points to pay off this card. So I won't have to pay any cash for it using the points that I already have in my Chase Ultimate Rewards bank. 36,666. There's a lot of sixes there, guys. But that covers the cost of this card. If you think about it, at just 1 cent per point, 36,666 comes out to $366. So I'm paying $366 for a $550 currently, that's what it costs, card. Okay. I'm able to utilize the $300 travel benefit right off the bat. And I don't deal with effective annual fees, as you know, but right off the bat, I know for a fact I'm going to get my money back no matter what, just by getting the card now. It also gives me a year to try out whatever new benefits finally do roll out on this card. And I know I'm going to be able to, just by looking at that list that I gave you, and I'll bring it back here to the screen, you know, to be able to get the benefits that they're offering with the edit, getting $250 off, it's still better than the quarterly credits that other cards offer you. So at least it's semi-annual. So that's a good chunk of money that you could spend to use on one of their hotels or their $300 dining credit or StubHub. If you're going to go, I'm a huge Mets fan, right? So if I want to get tickets from StubHub, I can use that money for that. There's a lot going on here that gives me value right off the bat. So instead of running away from a $795 card, I ran to it because I was given a prorated fee for my CSP, which is still a solid card. But bye bye CSP, hello CSR. And now I can take advantage of all the benefits that they have. I can go into the lounges. Thank goodness. Lounges at JFK and LaGuardia, because Newark is just a disaster. And then I could take advantage of all the new benefits once they hit without paying $795. Now, what do I think is coming up next, mi gente? The Amex Platinum will blow past $795. I don't think they're just going to increase their price $100. They're going to go out there and they're going to throw even more benefits at us. But for now, mi gente, I would really consider, if you have the CSP and you just, let's say, renew the annual fee on it, you're going to get it prorated. They're going to deduct that from your new fee for the reserve, and you still got a year until you get hit over the head with that 795. And then you can see whether you like it or not. So, mi gente, I did the homework. I called up. I made sure I have it recorded. And did it that way too, in case anybody questions whether or not it was recorded or not. But I want to thank Cindy out there for really just giving me, that information. So look for that to hit. And I'm going to dare say by June or so, because they're going to hit these products out early. They want people to take advantage of it for the summer. And I could see that happening real soon. So, mi gente, as always, you could be anywhere else. You chose to be here. And I thank you for that. But more than anything else, mi gente, I thank you for giving me the privilege of your time. Until next time, mi gente, say hello to my little friend, the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Take care.